500 entries for Clinton Poultry Show November 16th through 20th. At Moose Hall, meets last year. County agent praises local workers. Good judges, too. One will tell how to select breeders. Open to public. Clinton Poultry Show entries are due to be all in the hands of the local secretary, James E. Johnson, by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and the show opens to the public Friday morning the 16th when the judging begins. It will continue at the Moose Hall day to day and evenings until next Tuesday. The total number of birds to be shown exceeds that of any previous Clinton show, the local officials say. There are 500 entries, no duplicates. That is, birds shown in pens cannot compete in the singles and vice versa. Some varieties prominent. Barred Rocks with William Jones, Harry Moore, and Sidney Baxendale leading exhibitors are largest in number. The Rhode Island Reds, Buff Orpingtons, and other varieties will also be represented. While the local boosters have been unable to get any promises from farmers around as to entering seed corn or eggs, they feel the poultry entries, both local and from the outside, will assure a good show. The admittance fee of 10 and 15 cents will, as usual, go to help defray expenses. That the county agent O.B. Riggs is interested in the show is evidenced by the fact he sent the Clintonian this morning a statement regarding it, which is reproduced as follows. Riggs' statement. Untiringly, the enthusiasts of the Clinton Poultry Show have worked days that grew into weeks, and now everything is ready for the show. Clinton will have a drawing card, and that attraction is the poultry, egg, and corn show. November 15th to 20th. Praises judges. Poultry fanciers consider it an opportunity to have W.P. Ballard of Galesburg, Illinois, to pass on the merits of their birds. Mr. Ballard is an authority on fancy poultry. Growers of poultry for production purposes will not compete against the fanciers. H.W. Fitting of Purdue University will judge the entries in the production class and will name the winners of the egg show. Fitting to make talk. He will also give a demonstration on selecting the breeders Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock. It is likely that he will touch on the packing and marketing of eggs in addition. Those who know Fitting will hear him. Corn growers will meet at the show to match their skill as producers of America's greatest farm crop. F.M. Porter, instructor of agriculture at Newport, will place the ribbons on the corn. Entries are open to everyone. Boost the show, bring in your entries, and come to see who wins. Galesburg judge praises Clinton Poultry Show. 667 birds shown. Best show yet. 26 varieties of chickens at Moose Hall. Valuable points. Purdue lecturer tells how to tell producers. With 667 birds in the Clinton Show at the Moose Hall on Blackman Street, and 26 varieties represented, this show is characterized as the best yet held here. This is evidently the unanimous opinion of the men who are in charge. I've judged shows for the Illinois State Fair in cities all over Illinois, said W.P. Ballard of Galesburg, Illinois, and I want to say frankly and without exaggeration, this is an excellent show. Mr. Ballard was told by a Clintonian representative that a frank statement was desired, whether it was a boost or knock for the Clinton show. He stated convincingly he thought it was one of the best shows he had ever seen anywhere in cities of Clinton's class and compared favorably with those seen in much larger cities. He said he would voice a knock if any were coming, but the facts were favorable. Judge praises quality. There's lots of excellent quality here, he stated, the word quality being used repeatedly by him as he mentioned details. He especially was impressed with the Barred Plymouth Rocks, which number 110 being the largest class shown, and he added complimentary things about the South Carolina Rhode Island Reds, which number 75. The buff Orpingtons, of which there are 65 shown, and commented upon the quality in a number of other classes. Of other leading exhibits, there are 50 buff Plymouth Rocks, 40 black Langshans, 35 white Wyandottes, 30 white Leghorns. There are white Orpingtons, black and buff Minoreas, and other varieties. Production class important. In the utility class shown along the east wall, there are 75 birds shown. They are judged upon their egg-producing qualities. Purdue now classes this to be production class. Professor Fitting of Purdue lectured to quite a crowd of interested listeners at the show room yesterday afternoon, telling them points about handling birds and flocks to get eggs. Birds to kill off. He advised that any time a bird with a sharp head, sometimes called a crow head or crawfish head, is spotted, that it is a good bird to get rid of. It will eat all the food that can be sighted, but will never produce eggs, nor will it even fatten as it should. The layer has a head more nearly square, with eyes bright and healthy looking, not pale. Its body is deep and does not run off at either end like a racing canoe. There are other points readily learned, and the local poultrymen are glad to tell any interested visitors points about birds which will mean profit to good listeners, even if they raise but a few chickens. Birds of the show class constitute an inspiration for lovers of poultry, but the show bird and the utility bird may be wildly divergent on important points. The shaggy-looking hen that wouldn't qualify in the show class may be the best layer. This show will go on till Tuesday inclusive, but those wanting to see it are advised to get in Sunday or Monday if they haven't gone, or do not go late in the day. A steady stream was coming in this morning, but even in the crowded Moose Hall, many more could be accommodated. Len Drake has an oil incubator in which 4 very young chicks were out on top of a lot of eggs this morning. These 4 having beaten out a lot of others that will no doubt join them on the outside by tomorrow morning. One could readily count fully a dozen eggs, piping this morning out of several dozen in the warm glass-top container. Chance for children. The poultry show management invites any teacher to bring pupils up to the 4th grade free to see the show. Older children are charged 10 cents at the door, adults paying 15 cents to help defray expenses. 2 states represented. Secretary James E. Johnson looked at his records this morning and gave a list of all exhibitors from outside Clinton and vicinity. They are Messrs. Leeds, Gurr, and Apoli from Hollinsburg, Illinois, Russell G. Haynes of Plymouth, Indiana, John Weiser, Allendale, Illinois, L.A. Tade, Monarch Poultry Farm, Vincennes, Dr. E.C. Test, Dublin, Indiana, Cozy Nook Farm, and Frank Fisher of Brazil, Ernest Jacks, Rockville, J. Isaacs Waveland, Lucy Carlisle, Sullivan, and 3 Terre Haute exhibitors, Joseph McLaughlin, F.V. Andrews, and Joe McBride. 2 chickens raised at Florence, Wisconsin, and recently sent to Mr. and Mrs. Dan Bowser of Fairview Park, along with about 10 others, are exhibited by them. They are rose-comb white Leghorns. The Bowsers live at Florence until they recently returned here. They traded an incubator for these chickens, which are pretty good ones. Good to look upon. The hall, though small, gives the visitors plenty of chance to see the birds as they pass around through the aisles. It is a gladsome sight to the eyes of lovers of good-looking chickens, all for 15 cents. The more people that attend the show before it closes, the more encouragement the cause will get. It's primarily an educational affair, and one can learn more by a few minutes visiting among the pretty birds than by much reading.